Hello everybody, Trevor here, and welcome to another top 3 video. In the previous video, I talked about my picks for Diesel 10, and now we will be discussing one of the most important humans on Sodor, Sir Topham Hatt, aka the Fat Controller. These are my top 3 picks for the stout gentleman. So without wasting any more time and money, let's get this video started. Number 3 is Bruce Dow. This guy is the current voice of the character in All Engines Go. And if you've watched my All Engines Go Hate Train miniseries, then you know why I consider him along with the other adult actors to be okay, or at least better than the kid actors themselves. And as I've said in that miniseries, I don't mind the fact that he's now called by his Sunday name in both dubs. And did you know that he's also the new voice of Harold in that reboot? I think it's pretty good, but not as good as Carrie Shales. While I do prefer the original voices for Sir Topham Hatt in the model and CGI eras, but Bruce Dow does suit the character. I mean, it's not perfect, but at least he's trying his best. Number 2 is a tie between Alec Baldwin and Robin Smith. I've decided to make them a tie of 2 not only in terms of nostalgia, but they pretty much gave the character a more transatlantic accent, which is fine, but at the same time, it could have sounded a lot more British. And the thing with transatlantic accents is that they are a mix between British and American. Rarity is another perfect example, but that's another story. Anyways, what I like about these two actors is that they sound alike in terms of the accent, but with a different tone of voice. Alec Baldwin made Sir Topham Hatt sound more stern, while Robin Smith made the character sound more jolly. Either way, they're both pretty good for Sir Topham Hatt, but as I've said before, I prefer Sir Topham Hatt to sound more British than American because that's his nationality. Now before I get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Carrie Shale. If you've watched my top 3 Gordon voices video, then you know that he made Sir Topham Hatt sound too similarly to Gordon's US voice. Michael Angelis. I can understand why many people like him as Sir Topham Hatt in terms of nostalgia, but for me, he sounds a bit monotone. But hey, it could have been worse. Rob Rackstraw. He would have been number 1. And speaking of number 1, my number 1 choice is Keith Wickham. Look, I know I keep adding this guy as the number 1 spot in previous videos lately, but I can't help but enjoy most of his voices, especially with Sir Topham Hatt. Heck, I could even say the same darn thing with Rob Rackstraw as well. What I like about his take on the character is that not only it suits him very well, but he also made him sound more like a father figure. Not to mention that he also made him act funny at times in the Renaissance era, like when he dropped his ice cream in Ryan and Daisy, which was very funny in my opinion. Sure, Sir Topham Hatt can be stern and cross at times, but he also has a gentle side too. While I do enjoy the other voices for Sir Topham Hatt, I still consider Keith Wickham my number 1 choice for these reasons alone. Now let me know in the comments section on which Sir Topham Hatt voice is your favorite. Do you agree with my list, or do you have your own personal preference? There will be one more top 3 this month, but first I want to do something Valentine's Day related. This is Trevor Davis, signing off.